How's it going, everyone? James Lynch here for OddsChecker US, giving my pick for Sunday's Showtime boxing match between YouTube star Jake Paul and former UFC welterweight champion Tyron Woodley. If you missed it already, I've already done a profile on Tyron Woodley and talking about some of his career achievements and what he's bringing to the table against Jake Paul this Sunday. So make sure you check that out as well. And also just a quick reminder to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on this video if you're first time tuning in. Let me get off the screen right now, and we're going to take a look at the odds for this fight. So right now, as you can see here, a lot of books having Jake Paul as the favorite, some even 2-1 favorite, Bet365 even close to 3-1 favorite. So just keep that in mind that Jake Paul is the favorite in this fight for a variety of reasons, and we're going to get into that in a second here. But let's take a quick look here at Tyron Woodley here. It is going to be his pro boxing debut. He has no boxing experience, but he has a lot of MMA experience, right? 19-7-1. He is the former welterweight champion. He actually won that title back in 2016 by knocking out Robbie Lawler. So again, that's a reason where this fight could be very interesting, is that Woodley does have knockout power. It is very interesting. The question is, does Woodley still possess that at 39 years of age? You saw some of the names he's fought in the octagon, a lot of really high level fighters here, but again, these are not boxers, these are MMA fighters. It's a bit of a different ball game here as well. Woodley 39, 5'9" with a 74-inch reach, compared to Jake Paul, who's going to be 6'1" with a 76-inch reach. I think Paul might even be a little bit taller than that, or even a little bit longer. He definitely looks bigger than Woodley in this fight from some of the stare downs I've seen and some of the the videos and everything else. So Paul will be the bigger guy in this fight. I would imagine he's definitely got to cut more weight for this fight coming in right now. So that'll be really interesting as well in terms of what Jake Paul's going to look like in the cage as well. And in the ring, I should say. I'm always used to saying cage here. Jake Paul, a lot of good wins here. Gibb, TKO win, Nate Robinson, TKO win, Ben Askren, TKO win. But we got to point this out, and it's something to keep in mind for this fight. None of these fighters are really legit boxers, right? Gibb, YouTube guy. Nate Robinson, former NBA player. Ben Askren, mixed martial artist, but Askren, as we know, a lot older, not the same Ben Askren he used to be. And Askren is a real wrestler. I mean, this is a guy that never really relied on his striking at all in his MMA career. So now Jake Paul finally fighting someone in Tyron Woodley who, like I said, does have knockout power, does have knockout wins on the resume as well. So it'll be very interesting to see if Woodley's able to make these adjustments in this short amount of time, because you got to remember with Jake Paul, he's been training nothing but boxing for years. He's very wealthy. He has the best trainers in the world. That's all he's doing leading into this fight. And you also got to consider as well that Showtime has signed Jake Paul to a pretty big contract here. They're sort of using Paul as sort of one of the faces of their promotion. I can't see them bringing in someone that's going to be Jake Paul when they just signed him to this contract. Remember, Jake Paul was with Triller prior to this. Showtime took him away, and I can't see them having an investment like this go sour. So I think Paul and a lot of people realize that this is a winnable fight for him, and I think that's why he picked Woodley specifically, because it's not like Woodley's a young guy. He's 39 years old. He's going to be a little bit smaller in this fight, and like I said, the last knockout win for Tyron Woodley was back in 2016. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Obviously, Woodley, athletic guy, we'll see what type of, fight he's going to put up there. The Luque fight, I will give him credit, even though he lost that last fight. That was a fight where at least he went for broke in that one, and he did hit Luque a few times. But the question is that going to be enough to put away Jake Paul? I don't think it will be. I'm going with Jake Paul. I'm siding with the odds here. To me, what it comes down to is you have a fighter in Jake Paul who's, pretty decently athletic, even before he started his boxing career. And now all he's done is boxing, whereas Woodley's been up until the Luque fight was earlier this year. All he's been doing is training MMA. That's completely different training than what you need to do specifically for boxing. So I think this favors Paul. I think Paul, all he has to do is knock out Woodley. I think with Woodley, there's way more things he needs to do to go in there and hurt Jake Paul. Again, Woodley, even when he was in his UFC career, wasn't really known, at least in the latter part of his career, as someone who was, had one punch knockout power. And that's what it's going to take to beat Jake Paul. He's already at a size disadvantage. And like I said, Jake Paul, 24 years old, Woodley 39. Woodley's also taken a lot of damage. Jake Paul has not taken much at all. In fact, he hasn't really taken any in his boxing career as well. So I think that's another reason to like Jake Paul in this fight as well. Maybe you can get a little bit creative with the odds here, but I think if you can get Jake Paul at even like a -190, I think it's worth a stab here. Again, this is an MMA guy telling you that an MMA guy is going to lose on Sunday night. So I think Jake Paul gets it done. Again, I think that power is something to behold. And what he did, and I realize it's Ben Askren he knocked out, and I realize it's an NBA player he knocked out before that, but still, I just was so impressed. And I think, even seeing some of the people that are around Jake Paul, it just seems like a good fit for him to go out there and get the knockout win. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who are you picking, Tyron Woodley or Jake Paul? How do you think the fight plays out? Again, I think Jake Paul gets an early finish in this one, similar to the Askren fight. I think Paul goes out there and makes do on what he was said to do, and that was to beat Tyron Woodley. So make sure you subscribe to the Odds Checker YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like button where you'll find my interviews and breakdowns every single week. My name is James Lynch. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and on Instagram @LynchOnSports, and enjoy the fights this weekend. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching.